This is the diagram that ChatGPT made a while ago. And this is what ChatGPT made today with the help of ChatGPT Plugins. ChatGPT has recently received an update and a makeover. And with this update, they have granted ChatGPT Plus users access to ChatGPT Plugins. If you don't know what these are, make sure to check out this video that I made about ChatGPT plugins. Today I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT plugins to make your use case diagrams even better. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Pascal and I'm an IT consultant based in the Netherlands. And in my previous video I've asked ChatGPT to create use case diagrams for me using the planned UML notation. And then I copied it over to one of the most useful free tools that I'm using as a consultant called Draw.io. If you want to check out that video, I'll make sure to leave it in the description and I'll make sure that it will pop up somewhere in this video. Alright, so without further ado, let's get right into it. For this video, I'm using the Plus subscription of ChatGPT because at the time that I'm filming this video, this functionality is only available for its Plus users. So let's open ChatGPT, make sure that you're logged in and that you have a subscription to ChatGPT Plus. We first need to enable the beta features that plugins falls into. In order to do that, make sure that you go to the bottom left corner next to your email address, click on the three dots, and then click on Settings. Click on Beta Features, click on Enable Plugins, and then it also mentions try a version of ChatGPT that knows when and how to use third-party plugins that you enable. Alright, so now we have enabled plugins. So what we need to do is we just need to close up this window and get started. And like I mentioned, for this video, we're not going to use ChatGPT 3.5, we're going to use 4, which you only have access to, just like plugins, when you're a Plus user. So at the top corner, click on GPT-4, and then there's one more thing that we need to do. There's a plugins area. We need to click that. It also mentions that it's a beta feature. So now we clicked on plugins, but no plugins are yet enabled. So we need to enable them first. So there's this area that says no plugins enabled. So we head over to the plugin store and now we basically have the whole store open in front of us and we need to find the plugin that is called Show Me. Show Me is a plugin that can basically draw the diagram for you right within the chat. So in comparison to last video, we don't need to head over to Draw.io to create the diagram for us. It's pretty convenient, right? Because there's no search functionality, it might take you a little while to find the actual plugin. For me, this plugin is at the 6th page, right over here. This is what it looks like, Show Me. I already have it installed, but if you don't have it installed, just click the install button. And when that's done, just click out of the screen. So now what we can do is we can click on the No Plugins Enabled button. And then we can just click on the Show Me plugin. Alright, so that's all we had to do to enable plugins and the plugin that we're going to use for this video. So now we need to get started with our prompt. In my last video, we were using a scenario for a website selling shoes online. And we needed a use case diagram for a web shop system that displays this whole operation. So for the sake of comparison, let's use the same scenario, but let's be a little bit less specific and see if ChatGPT can fill in the blanks. Because we all know that our clients are never specific. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to ask ChatGPT if it knows what a use case diagram is. This might seem strange to ask ChatGPT, but it helps ChatGPT to predict what we're going to expect. So, do you know what a use case diagram is? Enter. And as we expected, ChatGPT knows what a use case diagram is. It mentions that it has actors, use cases, relationships, and of course a system boundary. It goes even further to explain the purpose of the use case diagram, but we won't delve into that today. Alright, so for now, I basically have prepared a very short prompt, which I'm going to paste in. And it basically mentions, please create a use case diagram for me for a website that is selling shoes online. Please fill in the actors, use cases, and their relationships, just as how it would work on a large e-commerce website. By asking ChatGPT this prompt, I hope that it's going to learn by example how large e-commerce websites are doing this and create a use case diagram for us. This is what we call filling in the blanks. Hit enter. As you can see, right away it's going to use the Show Me plugin. It is worth noting that it might take a while to come up with a response, but as you can see, we have the diagram right in front of us. Great. ChatGPT is finished creating the diagram. So it mentions, here is the use case diagram for an online shoe selling website. And it mentions the customer, the admin, payment gateway, and the delivery service. It also mentions the system, which is the website and its functionalities, like browse products, add to cart, checkout, order confirmation, payment, view order status. Those are all the things that we didn't tell ChatGPT, and it basically came up with it by itself. So as you can see, this is already extremely useful because if you're new into an industry, you might not know all the functionalities that are involved. All right, so this image has been created right in the chat. So you might think this is not really what I want because I can't really edit it this way. Well, there's a solution to that. Actually, I have two solutions for that. As you can see, there's also a link mentioned to edit the diagram. If you click this link, you'll be taken to mermaid.live, which is actually an extremely useful way to change this diagram to whatever you would like. And we don't really want to do that by ourselves. So let's ask ChatGPT to add one more actor, basically the warehouse management person that manages the stock on the website. ChatGPT goes through our prompt and is going to use the plugin to come up with a new version. And as you can see, ChatGPT is finished with the image. For me, this is really amazing. It added the warehouse person. It's not really the real name, but whatever, we'll go with it. And it also added stock management as a functionality. This is actually pretty good. I might change a thing or two, but it's really good as a starting point. Oh, and this seems like a really good moment to ask you to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up, because it helps me out a lot and it will also help me to create more of this kind of videos. Let's say that you still want to do it the way that I showed you in the previous video. Well, then what we can do is we can basically ask for the planned UML code of this diagram. You probably see where I'm going with this, because we're going to copy the code, head on over to draw.io, then we click on Arrange, Insert, go to Advanced, click on Planned UML, remove the code that is already there, and paste in the code that we got from ChatGPT. And as you can see, the whole thing is constructed right away. When we want to change this diagram, we can double click it, and right in this chat box, we can also add more actors and functionalities. And actually, I like this version a lot because it's quite visual and people will directly understand it when they look at this. And it's also using the visual output, like how use case diagrams are often depicted when you're learning about the theory. There's just one more thing that I want to try with you guys. We're going to ask ChatGPT to come up with the most complex example in which a use case diagram can be used and then have it drawn by the plugins. So we ask ChatGPT the prompt, please come up with a complex scenario in which a use case diagram can be used. So as you can see, ChatGPT mentions a large-scale hospital management system. And it already mentions the different kind of actors like patients, doctors, nurses, receptionists, lab technicians, pharmacists, and administrators. And it proceeded to draw the diagram for us. It is doing so in the mermaid formation, which is also the same that the plugin is using. So it explains us what kind of functionalities each of the actors use. Well then, let's ask ChatGPT to create this diagram for us using the Show Me plugin. In order to do this, the only thing that we have to type is please create this diagram for me, and ChatGPT will figure out the rest. It is directly using the Show Me plugin to create this diagram for us. So as you can see, ChatGPT created the diagram and it mentions how each of the actors are actually using the system. Now we're going to ask ChatGPT to give this diagram back to us in the planned UML format. As you can see, it's just creating it right away for us. Let's copy the code, go over to draw.io, and here we follow the same steps where we paste in the code that we got from ChatGPT. And as you can see, this is like the diagram created for us right in the chat, but now it uses those visual aspects like most use case diagrams have, like the actor displayed as a person, hospital management system which is drawn within this rectangle. Oh, and by the way, if you are using ChatGPT for your clients, always make sure to disable data sharing with OpenAI, because otherwise sensitive and valuable business information can get leaked even before the actual product that you're making this use case diagram for has been built. If you want to know how to do this, I made a separate video about it, and I'll make sure to link it in the video description, and it will pop up somewhere on the screen right now. Also, let me know in the comments below if you want to see more videos like this and whether you are using ChatGPT to do some of your work for you. Hey, congratulations! You have just won a free subscription to this channel. Make sure to claim it by clicking the red subscribe button down below. Oh, you're still here. Well then, let me recommend you this video over here. And I'll see you in the next one.